If you're buying a home in Ontario, there's this one closing cost that can really catch people by surprise. So let's make sure that doesn't happen to you. When you're budgeting for a new home, everyone is laser focused on the down payment. But there's another major expense you'll pay on closing day. And honestly, for a lot of people, it's the single biggest closing cost they'll have. Knowing about it up front is absolutely key to a smooth, stressful purchase. We are talking about the Ontario Land Transfer Tax, or LTT for short. It's a mandatory provincial tax that applies pretty much every time a property changes hands in Ontario, and it's a huge piece of your financial puzzle. So the most important thing to get here is that this tax is totally based on the purchase price of your home. And unlike your mortgage, you can't pay it off over time. Nope, it's due in one single payment on the day you officially get the keys. Now, you're going to have other closing costs, things like legal fees and home inspections, but the land transfer tax is often the biggest one of them all. A great agent, like the ones at the Bouma Group, will walk you through a complete budget. But today, we're really going to zero in on this one major tax. So, how is this tax actually calculated? It's not a single flat rate, which is a really common misconception. Ontario actually uses what's called a tiered or marginal tax system. This table shows you exactly how it works. See, the tax is marginal, which is just a fancy way of saying you pay different rates on different parts of the home's value. So no matter what, everyone pays 0.5% on the first 55 grand. Then you pay 1% on the next chunk of the price, 1.5% on the next, and so on. You just add up the tax from each of those brackets to get your final bill. Okay, theory is one thing, but let's put some real numbers to this. We're going to walk through a few common purchase prices you see in the Ontario market just to see how this all plays out in the real world. All right, so for a $600,000 home, your provincial land transfer tax adds up to $8,475. Now watch what happens when we go up in price. On an $800,000 home, that tax bill jumps up to $12,475. And if you're looking at a property for, say, $1.1 million, you're now looking at $18,475. You can really see how budgeting for this it's completely non-negotiable. I know, those numbers can seem a bit scary. But there is some very, very good news if this is your first time buying a home. The government actually created a program specifically to help you out with this. It's a rebate of up to $4,000 for eligible first-time homebuyers. This isn't a loan. It's a direct credit that lowers the amount of land transfer tax you actually have to pay. Let's go back to that $600,000 example. Remember the tax was $8,475? Well, with the full $4,000 rebate, your tax is cut nearly in half. It drops all the way down to just $4,475. That's a huge saving. And this isn't just a simple discount. It's a real financial boost right when you need it the most. That $4,000 is money you can put directly towards new furniture, a fresh coat of paint, or, just building up your savings as a new homeowner. So the big question is, how do you know if you can actually claim this rebate? Well, there are a few key requirements you have to meet, and the rules are pretty specific. Okay, so here are the main rules, and you'll want to pay close attention to these. The big ones are that you have to be a first-time homebuyer, and that means you and your spouse have never owned a home before. Anywhere. In the entire world. Plus, this has to be the home you're actually planning to live in. Now for the good news. The easiest way to get this rebate is instantly, right at closing. Your real estate lawyer handles all the paperwork, so you just pay the lower amount from day one. But hey, if for some reason that doesn't happen, don't panic. You have a window of 18 months to apply for a refund directly. So look, this whole explainer is to give you the big picture. Every single home purchase is unique, so for advice that's tailored to your exact situation, it's always best to talk to a pro. Your agent at the Bouma Group can guide you through every little detail for your purchase. By understanding the land transfer tax and that first-time buyer rebate, you've really taken a huge step in demystifying the whole home buying process. Now you can budget with confidence and move forward on the super exciting journey to your new home.